In this video, I'll summarize Unit 5, Lesson 8, Position, Speed, and Direction. So let's use signed numbers to represent movements. Today our goals: first, I can multiply a positive number with a negative number, and second, I can use rational numbers to represent both speed and direction. What do you remember about problems involving distance, rate, and time? We talked about this earlier this year, and it's a concept that comes up a lot. So we had a formula. It was d equals rt. That meant that distance equals rate, sometimes we call that speed, times time. And so we can use this formula to solve problems and find distance, rate, or time. When you're looking for distance, you would want to multiply the rate by the time. To find the rate, you would divide distance by time, and to find the time, you would divide distance by the rate. How could we represent a position to the left or right of a starting point without using words? Well, we could use positive numbers if it was going to the right and negative numbers to the left. So let's look at this distance, rate, time idea with also this positive and negative. So let's put it together with an example. If you run 3 meters per second to the left, where will you be 4 seconds after you pass 0? Well, if you're going left here, we could do that you go -3 meters every second. So -3 times 4 is going to land you at -12. You're going to be at the position of -12 on this number line. So you're doing distance equals the rate times the time, and we're still in the negative numbers. What word do we use to represent the speed with a direction? We call that velocity. If I tell you that a car moving east has a velocity of 50 miles per hour, what number would you use for the velocity of a car that was traveling the same speed, but it was going the opposite direction? It was going west. We would say it's going -50. That would indicate both our speed and our direction. All right, today we talked about this a little bit, and you've known this since elementary school, but what kind of number do you get when you multiply a positive by a positive? You always get a positive. Positive times a positive equals a positive. Or for example, 30 times 2 equals 60. This might be new. What kind of number do you get when you multiply a negative number by a positive number? Well, you get a negative number. A negative times a positive is always a negative. If you have -30 times 2, you're going to get -60. So check out all we learned today. Here were the most important learning goals. Sign numbers can also be used to represent speed in opposite directions, and we call that velocity. Every time you multiply a positive by a positive, you get a positive. And every time you multiply a negative by a positive, you get a negative. Those are some important things to keep in mind.